Hey, what's up? My name is SUBCHVRGE. Welcome to another track breakdown. This one we're doing "Moving My Body" off of the PrismaScope EP. That's out right now. You can feel free to go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. But for now, let's hop into the project file. This one was actually really fun to make because I was kind of just throwing a bunch of experimental things at the wall, and yeah, a few of them sticked, and I kind of started to write a song around that. Whereas a lot of times I'll go to write a song with the set intention of trying to write a specific style of music, which almost never works. So this one was fun in that I was tossing a bunch of ideas at the wall at the drop, and kind of just like built a song around it. So we'll start at the beginning though. First off, I have an atmosphere right here. We're writing the song in F minor, I believe. So I have an M comb tuned to F minor, I believe, as well. I got some washout on here. Pitch map. Pitch map played a huge role in this song. It should be F and a pentatonic minor scale as well. I don't know why pitch map resets the text like that, but it's still in F minor, the pentatonic scale. But yeah, nice little shimmery pad on that. Got the cha-cha atmosphere. Those two together. Nice. I have some basses apparently. Yeah, just kind of like way in the background here. Oh, I guess this is a synth loop. Yeah. Synth loop that I made, very cool as well. Very just background element right there. So that's really all that's happening in the first 8 bars, kind of like setting the mood for the song. We come down here to the effects, bar 9 hits, and we have a few things happening. Got this huge effects stem. This was from my song Backhand. I just took the effect stem from that and kind of just laid it in there. Really works well. Got a white noise effects, super past. Kind of just like really nailing that top end. Basses section should have a few basses starting to wash in here. That's cool. So, yeah, I did something unorthodox with this song. Well, unorthodox for me. I know a lot of producers might do this, but I hadn't done this up until this point. But I put pitch map on the entire basses section. I think that's why it was kind of really fun to start writing the song, because I could literally just throw anything at the song, and it was really just about flow and texture as opposed to just like ensuring that everything was in key, because pitch map was already doing that. So it was really fun to just start throwing random shit at this basses group and seeing what worked. So first of all, the basses group is very large. We'll get to that. I have a perk build up here from Ivory's pack. Starting to come in right about now. So yeah, that's the drop. Yeah, man. I mean, there's not too much happening in the effects section. I mean, it's just like a few little zaps and squeaks, and I think like a blippy kind of glitch type thing. The atmosphere for the drop is literally just like a side-chained pad, which is really cool to do to add texture and tonality to the drop. Not that this drop needed tonality, because again, like I said, the pitch map was on the entire basses section. But yeah, speaking of which, let's hop into the basses section, and I'll cover some of the drums afterwards. So the basses section, basically we're just starting off with a soft clip saturator. Nothing else really changed. I'm just like ensuring that everything's nice and clipped before heading into some more processing. So we have fresh air here, mid sitting at 65, highs sitting at 35. This I felt was just like the optimal settings for what I was trying to do. And then, like I said, pitch map. I think this is still F pentatonic. I don't recall exactly. But I know if I start changing stuff, it'll change the tonality of the song, so I don't want to touch it. But yeah, the cutting off a bunch of the low end on the sides, basically clipping, soft clipping right here with G clip, and then I have some. I believe this is just like, yeah, like volume automation to act as a manual sidechain. Like if I were to take this off. With it on, there's a little bit more ducking and a little bit more room for drums to hit. And the sub bass as well. And then I just have a little bit of a glue compressor, soft clipping on, threshold sitting at around 5-ish. Around that area. Makeup gain is cranked up. I like to do this a lot with makeup gainers. I'll just crank it super hard and then like dial it back down. Just to ensure that the sounds are loud, but they're not like crazy distorted or anything from the clipping. Even though there is a little bit of clipping and distortion in this drop, I feel like it was warranted because the rest of the song was kind of just bare with just drums. So yeah, I have basically just a bunch of different little this started as like an effing kind of sample pack challenge to myself, and then I started adding in different basses and different cuts of stuff. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is like cut up samples and like reversed and processed really weird ways, and like this is a cool example. This was called Swiggle from Effen's pack. That's what it sounds like, and this is what it sounds like in the song. So you can tell it's like been super heavily filtered. There's a little bit of fresh air on here for crispy high end. G clip for just soft clipping. Shaper box, which is probably acting as like a really quick side chain. Hard to take this off. Yeah, and with it, a little bit more rhythmic, a little bit less harsh on the ears. So yeah, a lot of these tracks are just, you know, like I said, cut up samples, but they're arranged and placed on the grid in a way that they flow really well together. A big part of my process is holding Control, Shift, and Alt, and then just like moving stuff around. That allows you to flow off the grid seamlessly, and you're able to kind of just put stuff in weird pockets, you know. It's super fun to do. I find really interesting flows that way, and yeah, I can't recommend that enough. Yeah, some more Ivory stuff. Yeah, this really kind of piercing high end works really well, because without it, with it just adds a little bit of a higher layer of texture that I really like. So yeah, there's that. We have a NASCO bass shot here. Yeah, they're like multi-layered chord stacks with basses on top of them, and then they're being further processed by the pitch map as well. Got this down here. This is a big layer right here, even though it looks pretty bare bones, but there's quite a bit happening because I didn't really take a lot of low end out of it, only on the sides. There's still quite a nice sub bass hitting over here. Got a little bit more stuff like this. Because I mean, without that, you know, it just doesn't hold the same weight. Yeah, that's really cool. Again, I think I just have this copied from a different sort of bass phrase right there. Really cool. But yeah, I think it all works together really well. Again, it really is just about, like, you know, like I said, Control Alt Shift and like dragging along the timeline and just listening to different variations and flows and trying to find your, you know, your sweet spot with a lot of layering of these basses. So we can head into the drums real quick, and then Yeah. So the drum section was split up into two parts. I have my main drums, which is, you know, like kick and snare and like toms and stuff like that. The drum rack is what I used for this one quite a bit. Oh, don't freeze on me. Okay, there we go. Thought I was gonna crash. Yeah, the drum rack is what I used for this. I know MIDI drums, cringe, but worked for me. It worked for me. Regardless. We have, yeah, just an F and kick, F and snare. Yeah, this one was, again, it started out as like an F and sample pack exercise where I would just take stuff from his pack and like try to make a song out of it. But then as the song started really coming along, I was like, okay, I might be able to actually turn this into something nice, something I felt was like release worthy. So yeah, let's see, what else do I have? I have like a cashmere top kick on top of the kick. So we got the regular kick, and then I got a little bit of a cashmere, I don't know, like almost rim shot-esque kind of thing. That's pretty high end. Yeah, I have some processing on it and limiter. Yep, transient shaped as well, very cool. And then I also have a Virtual Riot mode step kick on top of that as well. All in all, makes a super chunky, probably unnecessary kick, but what can you do, man? When the artistry calls, you answer. I don't know. The snare is really cool. It's like almost like a neuro-y type of snare. I added one of my own snares on top of it, and one of my own claps. All together sounds like this. Getting a lot of different sorts of textures in there, which is really cool. So yeah, those are the main drums. Pretty simple. And then I have this top section over here as well for like cymbals and whatnot. So I have to start off an Oliver hi-hat right here. That's providing most of the triplet action. And then I have another hi-hat from Effin on the off beats. Another hi-hat. Added acting as like a little accent on the main hits, and then I have two crashes up here for the 8-bar, or the 4-bar rather. But yeah, those are the hi-hats, those are the top drums. And then all the drums together sound like this. So yeah, pretty cool. One last thing, the sub bass. I'll show you a little bit of weird processing I did to this. So this was the Tisoki sub, Dat sub, D sharp. It's a very clean sub in and of itself, so if I play it alone, you might not be able to hear it without headphones or studio monitors, but it's very low end, it's very nice and warm, it's very clean. I really love it. For this song, I chose to take it in a bit of a different direction. I filtered it out first and foremost. Not that it needed that, but it needed the filter after I initially applied this white noise to it. Added some fresh air to crisp up the white noise. Took an EQ dip right here. I don't know why. There's nothing happening there. I think this was from a different iteration of what I had originally tried with the sub, which was something completely different. There was like high-end content here that was like super unnecessary. But regardless, just showing you the project. I don't know. G clip on here. Soft clipping super loud. And then checked with an oscilloscope. It's very nice and squarey, but still a sine wave, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I had to lower the volume quite a bit, and I probably could have done without all that gain, but like, I don't know, man, when you're in the moment and something sounds good or feels good, you just go with it. Musically speaking, of course. So yeah, the back half, second drop right here is basically just the same thing, but involving different flows, and like I said, using that Control Alt Shift technique to move stuff around on the grid and find different, like I said, flows, textures, tonalities, and yeah, that's the main difference, man. But yeah, this has been a breakdown of Moving My Body, which is, like I said, out on the PrismaScope EP right now. I'll leave a link in the description to check out the song and the EP for you. A lot of these sounds that were used in the intro and the build-up and whatnot, like some of the pads, some of the snares, some of the claps, they are available with the Charge Pack Volume 1, which is out right now. I will also leave a link in the description for that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. My name is SUBCHVRGE, and if you learned something, definitely feel free to let me know. And if there's any questions, comments, anything I can help with as well, clarifications, definitely feel free to ask as well. I'll do my best to answer any comments and questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching the video. Once again, my name is SUBCHVRGE, and I will check you guys later. Peace.